think the misconception of a lot of people is that we chose to isolate ourselves during that time and didn't need support. And that's really when we needed the most support. So I am a lucky member of the Heart Club. My daughter was born with a severe congenital heart defect that required so far 2 open heart surgeries and 1 upcoming. And we found out that we were expecting her right in the peak of the pandemic. And not only was motherhood new to me, ultrasounds, all of the experiences of carrying a human, but I was doing it in a pandemic and I had no idea what to expect. We didn't know what we were doing. We just knew that we really needed to take the best care of our newborn, and we knew that she was higher risk, and we didn't know what a common cold could do to her or how we could best care for her. And there was a lot of navigating that, and there was a lot less relying on our community than I think we would have done if we had had a typical pregnancy not during a pandemic. So I think when I think about feeling isolated in my journey, I think that it involved me making steps to seek out other support, seek out people that maybe weren't part of my initial bubble, people who had experienced things very similar to what I had experienced. I think that's why it's so important that these communities exist and these villages exist, because locally you might not have a village that's looking and being able to support in that same way. What I needed and what I found the most support with was looking to find a village to help me gain the confidence to be an expert. There were 2 really important groups that helped me to gain that confidence. One of it being the congenital heart community. I was able to join some online groups. I was able to connect with a couple of local moms and started to build this kind of network where I could ask questions, and just really gaining that understanding and knowing that I had this village to back me and that I could feel confident as a heart mom. The other really important group in those early days for me was the exclusive pumping community. I knew the likelihood was that I was going to have to pump due to medical reasons for her. But I didn't know anybody who had pumped before. I know everybody adds a pump to their registry, but I couldn't tell you anybody in my network who exclusively pumped, and that just wasn't a thing. Everybody that was around me, at least from my perspective, had a really easy time breastfeeding and didn't have all these extra concerns. And this was new to me, so I threw myself into research, and I found a community of others who had experience, and I learned from them. I found this community and this village of other moms who were up in the middle of the night, who were choosing different bottles, who were navigating all these things that I didn't have a community for myself to do. And I really feel like I became so much more of an expert from what they were being able to offer me. And I gained so much more confidence, and I was confidently then able to pump for my baby for 10 months and be able to support her and be able to supply her with milk, which was a really big important thing for me. Second-time moms, you're expected to know everything, and I didn't know how to breastfeed. I didn't know how to properly hold, how to do really any of it, and I needed that support, and I found another village, and I'm so thankful for the different online communities that I've been able to be a part of to gain that perspective and to gain that understanding of, okay, what do we do next and how do we do it? And I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without a village to help me, and I'm so thankful to stay a part of these communities where I get to also give back and I get to also be that village to another new mom. So I've been really lucky to have quite a few times that I've had that support that really made a difference for me. Absolutely, the online communities have been hugely impactful. But what's been really neat is kind of seeing how that can turn into a little bit more and turn into more support. So my oldest not only is a heart baby, but she also was blessed with food allergies, and that meant that we needed specialty formula to meet her needs. And we were kind of coming to the tail end of our prescription for it, and another parent in one of our online communities said, "Hey, I've got some, and I'll drive it to you." And she drove, I think, probably 3-4 hours to just help out a stranger. And to me, that's been so important, is that we might be strangers, but we're all in this motherhood and in this parenthood community and trying our best to support ourselves and support our families. But you can do so by supporting other families. So something that I find hugely beneficial is that I pay it forward. I pay it forward wherever and whenever I can. And oftentimes that looks like being able to donate to our local Mamas for Mamas groups, and being able to just give things away instead of donating them to a thrift store, so that a parent who doesn't have that finances can get that thing. We have so many hand-me-downs that we've been blessed with, and that's made such a difference to us being able to be financially stable and support our kiddos in the way that we need to. But additionally, I've been able to support other families in my community, not just with milk, but being able to support them with allergy-friendly milk. So unfortunately, both of my girls are allergic to dairy, and that meant that when I'm breastfeeding and supplying milk to them, I'm dairy-free. And I've been blessed this time around with a bit of an oversupply, and I've been able to pay that forward to my community, and be able to share that milk through Human Milk for Human Babies. And I think that that is so important, that every time that my community has supported me, I've been able to give it back to my community. And I think that that is what this motherhood village is really about, is a little bit of give and a little bit of take. And together we can be that community, whether you're right next door or whether you're hundreds of miles away and only connecting through through Instagram or Facebook. It is a community, and it's so important for families and for mothers as they kind of navigate, whether this is their first, their second, their third, their fourth baby. It's a hard time, and it's a time where you are figuring out not just how to care for your baby, but how to care for yourself. And having that community makes a huge, huge difference.
Cozy Power by Momcozy.